Hallå och välkommen tillbaka till mitt rum, antar jag. Jag vet inte. Välkommen tillbaka till If my heart had wings I would fly up to the sky. Jag ber om ursäkt, nu kommer det låta högt. Det lät inte så högt. Jag öppnade en burk här. Nu var det ett tag sedan jag spelade det här spelet igen. 25. Så jag spelade det jättemycket här runt jul, 23, 25. Nu är det 3 januari. Jag har varit ganska upptagen med typ Epic Battle Fantasy och sånt där skit. Spelat mycket av det. Men nu vill jag spela in ett avsnitt här, men så väntar på att min mat lagas. Den ligger i ugnen och kommer förmodligen bli bränd för jag har ingen koll på den. Men det här är mitt rum i alla fall, så att jag är glad över det. This is my room. I still have my bicycle up here, despite not being able to ride it. Jag minns inte vem som är vem, eller talat. Den ena är hon som är så här lite bitter utav sig. Och den andra är hon som är... Vi kommer nog märka det. We're coming in! Jag spelar för Epic Battle Fantasy, så jag vill bara göra den där rösten hela tiden. Oh. Your turn. This is a boys' room. Yeah. 2 girls nervously looked around my room. He's got so much manga. Boys really like manga, don't they? Said Asa-chan, impressed. Those weren't mine though. Himari brought them. And just left them here after reading. There are crumbs from snacks everywhere. They're not mine either. Those are from stuff Himari and Kotori have been eating in here. Since the garage was demolished, my room has become our meeting place. Thanks to that, there are many unnecessary things in here that I don't remember owning myself. Sorry, I'll clean that up right away. Wow. Han är så nervös. Jag är fan taggad på att äta mat. Jag ska äta jättesimpel mat. Jag ska bara äta liksom så här vitlökskroketter. Det är potatiskroketter smaksatt med vitlök. Bara äta det med sås liksom, det är gott. Jag hade först inte köpt potatiskroketter för det var några erbjudanden på Coop, men jag hittade inte dem. Så då köpte jag vitlökskroketter. Same. Lite godare, mycket dyrare, men lite godare. Sorry, I'll clean that up right away. Jag har tydligen blivit medlem på Coop nu också. De frågar alltid i kassan liksom så här, är du medlem? Och idag så sa jag det, jag vet inte. Så tog de mitt personnummer och bara, ja jag var medlem, jag fick 50 kronor rabatt. 50 kronor rabatt, det är fan bra grejer alltså. I clear away, jag menar det kostar 100 kronor att bli medlem, men man får en 50 kronors rabattkupong direkt där. Så. I clear away the trash and take all the unnecessary things out to the hallway. Well, I was at it. The girls were just waiting idly. Damn, those two have been treating my room like the storage. Han går ut och skäms alltså. And I returned after making a few rounds. Asa-chan was holding the framed photo that was on the desk. This photo... I picked up the heads of the 2 sisters who had their faces huddled close together. It was easy to do that because even for girls they're pretty short. Oh, it's that photo. It was the glider on the runway, overgrown with weeds. The blue sky stretching out in all directions. The shining white clouds bathed in the sunlight. And our group. It was a commemorative photo taken on that day, when I came back from the last test flight with Amane-senpai. This is the glider you saw just now. That's how it looks when it's assembled. The 2 of them, especially Asa-chan, were looking at the photograph enthusiastically. When was this photo taken? Around the end of last year's summer vacation. We flew the glider at dawn. Strange clouds called the Morning Glory appeared, and we were aiming for them. Then it was you guys flying that time after all. But you failed, didn't you? How do you know? I wonder. Kotori-san, Himari-san and Oi-san, right? She points to the faces in the photo one by one. And this pretty girl here is... The last person in the photo. She was pointing to the girl smiling carefully. Like a little kid. That's Mochitsuka Amane-san, also known as the Super Repeat student. She's already graduated though. Oh, that's the person Kotori-san was talking about just now. Yeah, that's her. The genius who's so smart she forgets she's hungry. I added, while laughing. That's how weird it was. The legendary senpai. Legendary. Well, that might be true. Maybe the students of Kifu Academy will continue to pass down the story of the strange senpai, Mochizuki Amane, for a long time to come. Just like an urban legend. While I was looking at the photo, the nostalgic feelings made me smile subconsciously. The two of them looked at me curiously from below. Originally we were members of the Soaring Club, but it had its status revoked due to some circumstances. This photo is the commemoration of our club's latest activities. Have you stopped your club activities now? Well, we're still kind of continuing them. Now we're going completely underground though. Since we aren't recognized by the school, we carry out our activities in secret so that we won't get found out. Asa-chan, are you interested in gliders? No, I'm... She turned bright red and lowered her head. Nisan is interested in flying things. She has been for a long time. Yeah... I see we're planning to fly again eventually, so you can come watch if you want. Yes! Asa-chan's big round eyes sparkled and she nodded happily. Så det här är som ett nytt spel nu bara med de här två, typ, basically. When the sun went down, what can be called as... When the sun went down, what can be called as the windstorm was... Okej. Det är fortfarande konstigt skrivet, men jag förstår vad de menar. So we couldn't go out to do any repairs. All that was left was waiting for the typhoon to pass while praying that this worn-out dormitory could withstand it. Hey, that girl Asa-chan seemed to be interested in gliders. Oh, really? I was telling Himari, who had been helping with dinner, about the twins. Because she probably won't be able to go home tonight. It seems that Himari is going to stay in Kotoru's room. I asked her if she'd like to come and see us flying the next time, and she agreed with sparkling eyes. That's great, isn't it? Oh, so you've been checking them out the whole time, how cute! No. Alltså jag måste träna bort den här jävla Rick and Morty-rösten, eller vad fan det är. Som jag har fått för att spela för mycket Epic Battle Fantasy. När man bara går runt och bara, oh no, it's not like that! That's what they call a lolicon, right? Kotoru had been quietly shopping the vegetables, joined the conversation. Oh, idiot, what the hell are you saying? They're only 2 years younger than me. That's not lolicon. It isn't, right? Oikun, a girl like that would be good for you. You're good at looking after people, so you're weak against girls who are a handful. Himari gave Kotoru a sidelong glance when she said that. Kotoru didn't notice her gaze and was chopping up the cabbage while mumbling. It's pretty cute though. We couldn't go shopping that night, so we were making okonomiyaki from the food we had left. That aside, take back all the manga and other stuff you left in my room. If you don't, I'll throw them away. Hey, I was lending those to you. You should read them. They're really interesting, you know. And then we can have heated discussions about them. Okay, if I have time. Hey, exactly how much of an age gap do you need to call somebody a lolicon? Shut up and shop the vegetables. Shop, damn you. The raging storm shook Flying Fish Manor, and we flew up in the air. Hey, are you really planning on living here? Yeah, because, the glider is here. Yeah, this must be destiny. You think so too, right, Yori-chan? Things like destiny is nonsense. Ne-chan, you're such a romanticist. Well, fine. I don't care if you never understand how I feel. Being a romanticist is more girly. Yeah. After all, I'm not girly at all. But besides, I thought it's kind of cute. Huh? What is? That everyone smiles so happily while aiming for the sky. Wah. The wind is really strong. The building might collapse and crush us while we're sleeping. Yori-chan, let's sleep together. What should I do? Yori-chan. Yori-chan. Oh yeah. Extend our little wings, which fly in the sky highly. Alright. The next day, the typhoon had passed and a blue sky spread over Kasagawa. That's how it is. Could you please consider our application, President? Please. Please! Following Kotori, we also bowed our heads. This is a 4th year classroom. Yesterday, we were ordered to go to the student council room, but we decided to take the initiative and went to Akari-san's classroom. Our business was applying for the revival of the Soaring Club. We were negotiating to restore the status of the Soaring Club, which was revoked last year. That matter has already been rejected. Habanero, Kotonori, Kotoriko. But that was under the previous student council, right? We thought that you might think about it differently. The Soaring Circle's leader title isn't just for show. Kotaro continued negotiating with the student council to revive the Soaring Club for the last year. However, the previous student council president thought that Tobioki-sensei wouldn't allow it and didn't really lend us an ear. A model example of the peace at any price principle. But that student council has been dissolved, and in the election held a few days ago, Akari-san was chosen as a new president. If it's her, she might actually listen to what we have to say. That's why Kotaro gave the negotiations a shoot once again. Akari-san stared at the petition for the club revival, deep in thought. We watched her expression nervously. If you aren't officially recognized as a club, there are a few problematic circumstances. First, above all else, is the ownership of the glider. It is a property of the Soaring Club, so if we become a club again, our ownership of it should be officially recognized. It was built using club budget, so the school took it away when the club had its status revoked. No, actually, over half of the construction costs were covered by Amane-senpai herself. Club expenses also became a problem. Currently, we are facing a serious shortage of funds. As for parts or materials, we can still manage by helping out at Anshan's place, but the cost of commuting to the airfield and flight training fees are no joke. A club budget, even a small one, would cover some of those expenses, so it's one of our motives too. And one more thing, we can't use the school facilities now. Even if we wanted to use the school's equipment to manufacture parts or something, we wouldn't get permission. Everyone just uses it freely, but with Tobioki keeping an eye on us, being found out would have been troublesome. And lastly, we don't have any place for our activities. As a result, we had to occupy the room used by the Kasato sisters. We can't keep using the dormitory for our activities forever. Nej, jag fattar fortfarande inte hur fan jag fick in den jävla glidan där. Var den dessutom inte en trappa upp också? Det tror jag. Tror jag till och med att den var. Nu måste jag kolla till mina jävla kroketter här bara. Please! Student Council President, you know that we are serious about our club activities, right? Exactly! Don't you think that such club activities fit Keifu Academy perfectly? Everyone was desperately pleading with her, but before that... Blir, Akari-san stared at us with a scary expression. Hon ser mer osäker ut än rädd, eller läskig. Men. There's something I want to ask you all. It's about the glider that disappeared from the storeroom. Alltså det är väl ganska uppenbart vem som har tagit den. Alltså vem skulle bli de första misstänkta? Ja, vi såklart. Vem skulle annars ta den? Tobioki-senpai, the Scooby-Doo villain, som han också kan kallas för. Her voice dropped down a tone. That alone was enough to make us cover in fear. What is it that you mean? Even if we were totally busted, we had no choice but to play dumb. Akari-san is a very fair person, but she wouldn't be that flexible. If it became clear that we had taken it away, she would have definitely taken action. Someone sneaked into the storeroom and stole the glider that was being kept there. I wonder who on earth could have carried such a huge thing anyway. Det finns en DLC som är så här Akari DLC. Jag har inte den DLC, men den finns. Det är lite konstigt egentligen. Akari DLC. Ja, jag har fandisken. Jag har köpt fandisken vid det här laget, men jag har inte köpt den DLCn. Det är en DLC till fandisken. Jag vet inte när jag ska spela Fandisken ens, för den har inte någon sån här restoration project, så den är förmodligen jättedåligt översatt. Så jag vet inte när jag ska spela den, men vi får väl se. Jag har den i alla fall nu. I wonder who on earth could have carried such a huge thing away. She said it in a way implying that she knew full well that we did it. Well, she's right on the mark. The thing with the glider was a huge miscalculation on our part. It was clear that it would work against us when we would apply for the restoration of the club, but we couldn't stop ourselves. Knowing that this would happen, we came to her first to negotiate. There must have been some kind of geek, an airplane enthusiast maybe. Konstigt att han inte är med i jävla Soaring Club då. They wanted it at any cost. When I desperately tried to make up a suitable reply, Akari-san shifted her attention to me. You're saying it wasn't you? No way, definitely. What are you talking about? Oh, no way, blah blah blah. I answered while choking on my words. My heart felt heavy when Akari-san's gaze filled with righteousness had pierced right through me. Very well. However, be advised that if you get caught doing anything illegal, I won't be able to protect you. Yeah. I gave an honest reply reflexively, and Himari poked my side. It was like admitting that we had actually stolen it. Nevertheless, the glider was planned to be donated to the museum next week. That was rather good timing, you know. Akari-san glanced at our expressions. It seems that she's like to know about that. The one who leaked the information to us. Akari-san! At that moment, Masatsugu appeared, calling out in a frivolous voice. What time does today's student council meeting start? 4 p.m., Tasaki-kun. Then you're free until then, right? You wanna go somewhere for a cup of tea, huh? Oh, it's you guys. That bonehead Masatsugu. He's only just realized we're here. What are you doing? We've come to apply for the restoration of the club. So go somewhere else. What's with that attitude? I'm a member of the student council too. Masatsugu stuck his chest out self-importantly. That's right, he joined the student council days for years as secretary. In response to Masatsugu's antics, Akari-san glared at him. What's the matter, Akari-san? We're having an important conversation right now. It's about the incident with the glider getting stolen. Oh! I always thought it was strange. Why was it stolen just before it was supposed to be donated to the museum? Alltså, är de här två tillsammans? Jag vet att han har en flicka. Är det de två som är tillsammans? För så får det ju jättefucked up. Att det finns en DLC där man kan... Att det finns en DLC där hon har en route. Det är jättefucked up i så fall. Jag måste kolla på VNDB. Vad står det? School, blah blah blah. He used to have a girlfriend but broke up with her after Jag vet inte om det är samma person. If we assume that the culprit was a regular student, how would they have gotten that information? Well, I wonder how. I'm an idiot, so I have no idea. Himmer and I got perplexed. Couldn't he come up with something a little better? His poor attempt to dodge the issue has apparently convinced Akari-san who the culprit was, so she didn't bother pursuing the topic any further. Nu bara hörde jag hur min ugn typ exploderade. Well, it seems that we'll be okay for the time being, even though she found out who was responsible for leaking the information. By the way, it's a digression, but it seems that Masatsugu isn't with that girl from his band anymore. According to him, some musical differences were the reason. But according to Himari, he just got dumped. Okej, så nu fick vi veta det. Nu råkade nog läsa en spoiler på en DB, vi fick veta det 5 minuter senare. After that, he had a fateful encounter with an older girl called Kumoi Akari. And then, chasing after her, he joined the student council. Digression over. Och du bara kommer där och snor henne. Wow. As for the revokement, it's just like we discussed before. I sympathize with you, but there's nothing I can do about it. A staff meeting was held right after Amane-senpai left. They promptly decided that the club would have its status revoked and that the garage would be demolished. This was all Tobioka's instructions. Some of the teachers opposed it, but it seems that Tobioka forced the demolition of the garage. The reason? It was the original promise. Actually, I didn't approve of it either. Basis for revokement was simply that there was no other members beside Mochizuki-senpai, something like that. However, now all of you guys were there too. Jag måste gå och kolla maten för ugnen. Jag råkar bränna mig på den där jävla formen också. Det är nog inte så allvarligt, men bara liksom en liten grace och sen bara aj som fan. Den är snart klar. Vad fan goda. Despite that, the teachers decided to revoke the status of the club for their convenience. That vicious act is an infringement of the student council's autonomy. If I had been student council president at that time, I would have put up more of a fight. She was speaking with clenched fists and a furrowed brow, genuinely frustrated. She won't tolerate those who ignore the rules, even if they are teachers. And that's how it is. When the Soaring Club faced the danger of status revokement back when Amane-senpai was the only member, it was Akari-san who kept pressuring her and somehow made her continue. She was very strict, but she's actually a good person. Then please, approve of the club restoration. That's right, President. The decision to abolish it was ridiculous. We insisted, but Akari-san shook her head. Why? Because it doesn't mean the requirements of being a club. First, you don't have enough members. Now we only have 3 members. For a club, at least 4 members are necessary. Next is the validity of the club's activities. Well, there are no problems there. This is about whether or not the activities are suitable for a student club. There's no problem as far as that goes. You don't have qualified personnel. That's a serious problem. If you mean a pilot's license, Oikun has one. Just that is not enough, is it? Pilot aside, qualifications for maintenance and such are also necessary. Gliders aren't something that can be managed without such qualified personnel. Before, Amane-senpai had all of the necessary qualifications, so it wasn't a problem, but finally, you don't have an advisor. Yamanabe-sensei, who had been our advisor until last year, withdrew from the position when the status of the Soaring Club was revoked. He had to deal with such a super problem child as Mochizuki Amane, while Tobioka was keeping an eye on him. It's no wonder a third of his hair has gone white even though he was still young. He was weak-spirited, but he was a good teacher nevertheless. If you don't solve all of the aforementioned problems, I'm afraid I won't accept your request. Mini? Even if the student council approves it, there's no way Tobioka-sensei would accept it. She put it politely, but the point was that Tobioka just won't shut up if we don't meet the minimum requirements at the very least. In other words, it's not entirely impossible. Akari-san nodded. If you clear all the conditions, the student council will negotiate with the teaching staff. Akari-san assured us, with an expression that seemed to say this is only fair. Thank you very much, President. We bowed our head, and were about to leave the 4th year classroom. Make sure that the glider isn't found, okay? Yes. Ah? You're so honest. Akari-san jokingly ignored my vigorous reply. I didn't think you guys would seriously steal it. Okej, vi ska ta avsluta nu. Jag ska gå och äta mat nu. Så vi tar och avslutar bara. Lite kortare än vad det har varit senaste tiden. Men jag måste gå och äta mat nu. Så tack för att ni har tittat, så hörs vi nästa gång. Hej då!